Hi, this is Michael P. Coleman, Content Director for Brother Be Well. Thanking you for checking out this series, this trauma and healing series brought to you by Blue Shield of California's Blue Sky Initiative.
Usually, it was a big, multiple shocks here, but here and there, and traumas. But one of them was that a cultural shock being in the United States. Some of the jokes don't make sense if I try to translate them. Some of the sayings that really make sense in Arabic and they're really meaningful makes no sense in English, or makes no sense in others, and it's just meaningless words are all linked together. And I learned to actually try to learn about the culture of the United States and trying to learn other people's culture. So when I try to help others, or so I know the problem was is I can't really get along with people because they don't really cultural difference here, so it won't really make sense to each other. So I try to learn their perspective and I try to learn from their side as much as possible. So when there is a problem, I try to talk to them and communicate with them. We could get along more easily than I don't make sense to them and they just really get confused. So sometimes I learned a few motivational quotes in English. Sometimes I think in English, I speak in English, and I learned how to solve my own problems. If they're in English, I solve them in English. If they're in Arabic, they I solve them in Arabic.
Nice.
And usually, if there's a problem, I usually talk myself through it and see what's the big picture, what it is. I learned for my dad how he deals with his drama is he talks about it sometimes. I mean, sometimes he talks about it, even if there's no one in the room. He still talks about his problems, brings up random people's names I don't know of, but he may know of. And I usually listen to him because there are a couple things you could learn from listening to others. And I do learn a lot about him and his life, and I could learn a few things from him. A few, not much, but a few things that mistakes that he did. I try to avoid, and I try to learn from as much
Mm.
as possible. So I won't make the same mistakes and cost me the same trauma and more problems. So I try to learn from him as much as possible.
Yeah, I definitely share that with you, Mustafa. I used to be the victim and just be like blame my father or my parents for all the pain that I've been through, or for them hurting me, or for them not setting me up uh, with a bunch of wealth or whatnot. But the fact that you're open-minded enough to see that you can learn from others' mistakes, that's the whole key to developing yourself into a man that you can admire. You're constantly acquiring what you admire from other people's mistakes and from people that you do like you said, motivational quotes, motivational speeches. Like, we can listen to Patrick Ma and extract some of that motivation from him and own that and then apply it to our life. That's really the journey of developing ourselves. We're constantly learning from the people around us, the world around us, and we're extracting that resiliency from our environment. And it really makes me think about all the trauma that I've been through. It happened to me when I was young. Things that I couldn't control, things that I didn't choose. Like, if I didn't choose to go to foster care, and if I had a choice to go to foster care or to not go to foster care, I would have never chose to go to foster care. you know. But now that I'm older and I've been able to be a beneficiary of the foster care program within the university system in California, all of that foster care happened for me. It didn't happen to me anymore. I've been able to be a first generation college graduate, high school graduate, and now I'm applying to grad school, you know, and I would have never thunk that I could have made it that far, you know, because only 4% of current and former foster youth graduate with a 4-year degree nationwide. You know, if I would have played that victim card and fell into the victimhood, like, oh, poor me, why me? Why, you know, why can't I have parents who can pay for me to go to college, instead of picking myself up, taking control of my own life and finding a way, finding the resources, finding the support, and finding my vulnerability is my superpower, that I can just identify with what I am and who I am. And here I am now. Let's find a way to help me get educated, you know, asking for help, being proud of that, being proud of what you've been through, being thankful for the trauma. You know, it's very hard to say that now because some people could be in that trauma and not want to identify with being proud of it. But like I said before, it all happened to me when I was young. I didn't have a choice. But now that I have a choice and now that I have control of my life, all of that happened for me. Life is happening for me right here, right now. And we're all healing together. Patrick and Mustafa, thank you so much.